well, they extended it to 11:59. Technically, it's supposed to be over at 10. Please do not wait till 11:59 to try to turn things in, guys. Please, please, please. They will not extend it past that. Remember, new classes start on Monday. It's not that they're being, not helpful to you, but we literally have to get the grades in, process your grades, get you to the next class for those of you that are not graduating, and everything starts up once again on Monday. So Thursday 11:59 is a hard stop. Please try to get everything turned in before then. Please, 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 and thank you. For your actual work, however, outside of your final and your career plan project, I have extended that up to tomorrow at 6 p.m. Up to tomorrow at 6 p.m. because I have 4 classes and I still have to grade every single assignment. You do the math on that, right? Okay, so that's as far as I can go out for tomorrow for your other assignments, but for your final and your career project, you still have the full day. Please try to, it's been open, the final's open, everything is open, right? So you can do it at any time. All right, so let's get through really quickly chapter 6. It doesn't talk about much. Chapter 6 is really just about protecting your identity. And that's important because we've been telling you how important networking is, how important having an online presence is. It only is befitting for us to talk a little bit about identity theft, which is a thing. I don't know if anybody's ever had their identity stolen. Has anyone ever had the misfortune of having their identity stolen? My hand is raised. The nerve. I was upset. Bryce, I don't know about you. Now, this happened years ago, back when cell phones first came out. Someone, and back in those days, you had to get local service. So I had just came from the military and I was in Orlando, and someone in Tampa had stolen my identity and like bought 3 or 4 cell phones. And that was like a big thing back in those days. But I couldn't even get upset anymore because a few years later, I had a friend who was about to purchase a home and someone stole her identity in California and went and got like cosmetic surgery. Not to stereotype people from California, but that's kind of funny, right? And so it delayed her buying a home for like 2.5 years. Can you imagine? Awful, awful stuff, right? So one of the reasons why it's important to really consider, being safe with your identity. It's one of the reasons why I said with your resumes, don't put your personal information on there. Some crooks do fake job postings. I don't know if anyone's ever seen one before, was victim to one. I was a few years ago. And it was a telltale sign because they wanted me to do everything through a virtual private network. I'm like, oh my God, these people are trying to steal my identity. But I didn't catch on quick enough, right? I caught on, after, because at first I just thought it was an international company, companies work international all the time. But then, when she didn't want to talk, she wanted to do everything through like a WhatsApp chat. And I'm like, okay, this is identity theft, and I was even embarrassed by what I had sent her. Luckily, I hadn't sent her, all my information, but it was bad. So those things do happen. So identity theft, of course, they're going to try to steal your information. A lot of times they're trying to steal your information, not because they're trying to show up at your house or something like that, but they're trying to buy stuff or use it to get loans and all kinds of weird stuff, right? So yes, there are employment scams, friends. There are employment scams. We have to be very, very careful with these employment scams. I always tell people, and even this doesn't hold true, but if you see a job online, like through Indeed or LinkedIn or whatever, and it seems a little bit too good to be true, go to their website or try to see if they have a website. But now even the crooks have gotten clever and they try to do websites now, even though that's a little harder to do because you have to put in a lot of personal information to get a website. But they even do fake websites. So, but try to do your due diligence. If something looks funny, err on the side of caution. Um, they can do identity theft with your computers. It's one of the reasons why, well, yeah. Well, one of the reasons why we say, like, if you go to like a Starbucks or any coffee shop or any even library where they have access to this free Wi-Fi, I would not suggest that you use it. Or even if you're using it, make sure you use it sparingly and don't do anything private, like go to your bank account and something crazy like that. If you just want to like use your, go to your school site or something like that, fine, because the school has a lot of firewalls. But just don't do anything personal because they will try to steal your IP address. Remember, every time you log into the internet, it's like an address. The internet is tracking what computer you're using, and there are internet crooks that know how to intercept those signals and try to get access to your computer information, right? Um, that is why it's so important, like I said, not to use those hot spots. You want to be careful with that. And even if you do have a hotspot, I know I have a hotspot. My daughter's always carrying her iPad around and she'll use my hotspot. Or her Amazon Fire around because her other one has it. But so I have to be careful when I let her use that as well because I don't want anybody trying to get access to that. Now, when it comes to cookies, I know a lot of you probably have seen this, especially if you are shopping online or go to a website. They always ask if they can track your cookies. Does everyone understand what they're really asking here? They're basically asking, can they follow you around while you're on their website so they can get an idea of what you're looking for? And it seems harmless. I mean, you know, technically, but for one, it can be a bit annoying because let's say you're buying something on their website. Um, that you don't normally purchase. But then next time you go to the website, they're like offering you crap that you don't buy because you did it one time, right? And so you don't want, you don't have to agree to that. But also, these cookies, they're stored on your computer, right? It's like a shortcut, if you will, or this, and it's also like a history recording of what different websites you've been to, things that you've purchased, right? You can get cookies attacked on that. It's called cookie hijacking. Yeah, I know it's a thing. It's so annoying. But think of it this way, and I hate to say it, but all IT computer people, they learn this stuff, and there are bad actors that are computer IT people. So for every good, there's a bad, right? Hopefully there's more good than bad, but that's how it happens. If a person knows how to create the software, they also know how to break into the software. So there's always going to be nefarious characters, unfortunately, in life, as we all know. So that's why you always have these people that do the bad things because they learn how to do it the good way, then they learn how to do it the bad way. We call that ethical and unethical hacking. There's actually a whole career that you can use. We call it red hat, black hat, and it's like companies will hire you to actually break into their system because they want to see what the bad actors do, and you can get hired to be an unethical hacker. Can you believe it? I'm going to hire you to see if you can break into my system. Yeah, people do that for a living, right? So there are other attacks that can happen to all of us. Now, some of these attacks happen mostly with large corporations, but it can happen. The most common one for people like you and I are phishing attacks. That's when you get those emails and they're asking you to try to trick you to, click here. They pretend that they're a company that you work for or that you have to do business with because they want you to put in some personal information because they're trying to steal your identity. Malware is software programs that are designed to destroy or steal data on your computer. Again, those things tend to happen mostly with companies, but they can happen with individuals as well. You can get a software virus that can affect your computer. Those happen sometimes by mistake, just because you used, remember those thumb drives we used to use, and you put a thumb drive into like a library computer, and then you come and put it into your laptop. You can get a virus. Adware is a software that displays advertising. Um, you know, without you wanting it, which is so annoying. That's why there's like these different programs you can get to block those adwares, which is so crazy because companies spend thousands and really millions of dollars to do these pop-up ads, and then now we have to spend millions of dollars not to see them. So annoying. Spyware, software that spies on your computer, that that happens mostly in large corporations. Most nefarious characters are not going to go through all this, you know, trouble to break into your eyes, computers to spy around. They won't find much if they look on mine. But ransomware is definitely a huge, huge corporation issue. It's even a government issue. It was in the news not too long ago where, our government was hacked and so was, big time corporations. I can't remember if it was BlackRock, one of the banks or somebody else. And they had to pay up because a lot of times they'll just lock down your entire system and you have to pay them through crypto or whatever they have going on now for them to release your data. I mean, can you imagine? You can't do any work. You can't do any business. They lock down the whole system, which is, one of the reasons why companies hire these unethical hackers to try to make sure that they don't have any of those vulnerabilities. But like I said, it's very difficult not to have those vulnerabilities as long as there's a human. I'm sure the what's his name? What's the guy's name that's over at OpenAI? Sam Altman, and those people are trying to replace humans altogether and to try to eliminate that issue. It's one of the reasons why they're trying to get rid of us, guys, is because they're trying to eliminate this human fallacy that we have, for every bad, there's a good and vice versa. So this is why we have these attacks, because people actually create them. All right. So with that being said, it's always good to try to maintain your security. One way that we ask you guys to do it outside of just the antivirus, is through secure passwords using your multi-factor authentication. I think most of us see that happening now. It's because in addition to your passwords that you create, now they're like, okay, now you got to do this whole biometrics, either using your thumb and your eye or something to ensure that is you. Can you imagine? We've actually gotten to this point. Now, I don't know how many of you are in Generation X who remembers that Bruce Willis movie where, and I don't know, what was it called? Somebody help me. And they were living very futuristic type environments, and they had like people could spy on you, and it was in the cameras everywhere. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? That movie? Was it Don't Leave Me Hanging?
Fifth Element.
Is it The Fifth Element? I feel like it is, because they lived in these very futuristic apartments or something. But anyway, so it was all about this, what's happening now, and having to use a lot of biometrics just to even to do anything. Now, I'm going to tell you now, maybe I'm just being a little, no, I don't think I am. I'm just going to put it out there. Y'all remember that movie that Justin Timberlake did called Out of Time? Is it Out of Time? Y'all know what I'm talking about, when they put those little chips in people and all the poor people had to live on one side of town, all the rich people lived on the other. I think we're getting to that. Now, I think that's real. Now y'all call me are we getting to that point to now? Huh?
It depended on how rich you were for how much time you got in life.
Now, I think that, maybe that's actually kind of true too, right? Can you afford to live for a long time, right? But this whole notion of, I mean, if you follow what's happening in the economy now, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And if you ever come from a developed country or developing country, or even, back in the day in Europe, you had the rich and you had the poor. There was no middle class. The middle class is a new phenomenon, guys, right? That does not always exist. And I feel like it's kind of reverting back to that. The middle class is eroding, especially here in America. So, and I don't think these rich people are building underground houses for nothing. Y'all know that, right? A lot of rich people are building underground bunkers. Why is that? I wonder. Anyway, so this idea of multi-factor authentication is using some type of biometrics to, identify yourself, which I'm not surprised by because, again, like I said, they were talking about this, they were calling these people conspiracy theorists about 10, 15 years ago, and now here we are. So you always want to have a great security plan, checking your passwords, updating those passwords, and I'll give you an example of how I do mine. Installing software if you can, and just being, extra diligent. Don't, those pop-up blockers, try to get rid of them, suspicious emails. You guys know the drill. Like, and I hate to say it with, the economy moving the way that it is, anytime there is stress, y'all know what's going to happen, right? That's when the little bugs come out the woodworks and they start trying to do bad stuff, right? So just be extra careful, guys. One of the things that I do with my passwords, I always, if I want to create a password, I always think of a word that is personal to me. It could be, I've done some travel, so I may pick a word from Africa or a word from Korea, somewhere that, most people won't know what it is. I mean, obviously, unless you live there. And then what I do is I replace all the vowels in that word with some type of symbol. So even if I wanted to use the word welcome, right? In Ghana, the word welcome is spelled Akwaba. I mean, it's Akwaba. It's pronounced and it's spelled with a bunch of A's in it. I would take that word because it's unique to me. I know what it means. And then I would replace all the A's in Aquaba because it's all A's and there's a U there. And I would replace all the A's with like a dollar sign. And then I would replace the U with like an exclamation point. Or if I'm using the word welcome, I would replace the E's with a dollar sign and the O's with the exclamation point. And then I'll put a year that's unique to me at the end. Maybe it's the year my daughter was born or something like that. I'm never going to forget how to spell the word welcome. I just have to remember that my E's are dollar signs and my O's are exclamation points and whatever year I have at the back. If you practice that, and the longer that you make your password, the harder it is for any type of hacking system to break it, because those hacking systems are computers and they're going to follow the alphabet. They're going to follow natural language, right? That's why they're called natural language processing models, because they are going to follow that process. And so the word welcome is not spelled with dollar signs and exclamation points. So it's not going to know to do that unless it's programmed to that. And even then, it will take a long time for it to get through it because it's programmed to go through the entire dictionary first. Y'all see? And so most people are not going to take the time to break into your account when they don't feel that they're going to get anything. And so you're not going to make it easy for them to do it. So I always tell people, think of something really long, even if you want to say, okay, my password is going to be my middle name and last name, and then, invert some of those vowels with some type of symbol. It will really help your password system. Make sense? Or if you want to, replace the consonants with, some type of symbol. That's what I always do. And the computer always tells me I have a very strong password because I like my A's. All right. Now, so here's your question for the day, guys. I want to get you guys out of here. I know some of you owe me some stuff. Let's get that done today. Get it done. So here's your question. Have you ever been hacked? Oh my God, I hope not. Or have you had your identity stolen? How did you fix it? Now, if you've never had that happen to you, good for you, good for you. So I want to know, what are you doing to keep yourself safe? If you've never been hacked, or had your identity stolen, then tell me, what are you doing to keep yourself safe? Are you using multi-factor authentication? Are you using strong passwords? Are you have a practice of not using Wi-Fi? What are you doing? That's your question for today. All right, y'all. Well, guess what? Y'all are out of here. Y'all are out of here. Please, my friends, come super, super early tomorrow. We will only be here 5, 10 minutes at the most. I will stay back for people to have questions because there's always going to be people with questions. I see your hands. But for the rest of us, in and out, you have one day to get it done, and we are out of here. I always have one person to say, "Oh my God, I didn't know class was over on Thursday." Please tell your friends class is over tomorrow. Yes, Kev, go ahead.
Good morning. Question I have. So apparently the participation for Monday is still locked.
Everybody did it. Some people didn't do it, but a lot of people did do it. It's locked now. It wasn't locked yesterday.
It was locked for me yesterday. I couldn't go on it.
Somebody's did
Miss
it.
Taylor,
Go ahead, Dominic.
um, Kevin was at the class because I actually called him and asked him about the questions because I missed them. I don't know how he didn't. I know he would have done it. That's just the guy he is. I don't know how it didn't take it.
No, either, because I mean, it's not like it's open for everybody, and everybody. I mean, there was a lot of people that. I mean, there's a few people that didn't do it, but it wasn't because it wasn't open. Um, so I don't
Kev, did
know.
you
You said,
just missed it?
hmm?
Kevin,
What's
where'd
up?
he go?
Oh,
I'm
dang.
here.
Did you
Yeah,
just
Kev.
miss it?
No, I tried
Uh,
to go on yesterday and it was still locked.
did you? I don't. I don't know what time you went on, but it
DJ,
was
I did
open.
it yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm just trying to understand because like other people in your class did do it. So maybe it was the time you went on. So what I can do, I can open it back up if you want to turn it in for a grade. I can't go back and give you attendance because I don't know, you could have reached out to me yesterday and then I could have worked with you, but attendance is done. But I can open it back up if you want the grade. I mean, your
I'll take it.
attendance. Want me to open it back up for the grade?
Yeah.
So you're talking about for Monday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll open it back up for Monday so you can turn in the assignment for your grade. But guys, anytime you have issues, please just call me. Like y'all got my number. Call me because once I turn in the attendance, they've already done it. It's done. It's gone. And unless, like we had a shutdown or something, they're not going to just open back up the attendance. But I can open it back up for your grade. So that's fine. And attendance doesn't count towards your grade. Attendance counts for like financial aid and making sure you're in class. So one missed attendance is not going to kill you. Um, as long as you have to be missing for 10 days before it affects you, right? So that won't affect you, but I can open it back up for your grade, Kev, because I mean I know you as a student. I know how you are. So I'll do that, okay? Just let me get out of here. Go ahead, Angelina.
So, I figured I'd bring it up since, it was kind of being talked about, but today's participation question, it's today's is locked and I can't get to it.
Today is the 22nd.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
But
saying that today's is locked out.
today is the 4th. Today is Wednesday. Um, it's available. No, so maybe it's a different class. Hold on, that's open.
I
Let-
just realized my mistake. I was on the wrong day. I was on Thursday, not Wednesday.
Oh, you scared me. I was like, oh my God.
I scared myself with that.
Listen, I just got me to tell you these computers are not perfect, but I'm like, okay, maybe something's going on. All right, no, okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
but
today's
it's there.
okay.
Yep, it's
Okay,
there.
honey, no problem. Go ahead, Dominique.
Okay, so Miss Taylor, can I submit? I already did my final exam, and I got to submit some more assignments today. Is it
Mhm.
possible? So, are we going to have a question tomorrow? The
Yes.
reason
So
for me asking is because I have orientation tomorrow at 10 o'clock is to start the electrical class on Monday.
okay. So what I can do is I'll leave the participation question open until 5.
Okay. Um,
That help?
yeah,
Okay.
or maybe you said we're only going to be on for like 10 minutes or so.
Not even like 5 minutes. I mean, I'm gonna give a little spiel and then the participation question will be up there. Um,
Okay.
and even if you don't make it, you can, I'm still gonna be recorded. You can always just click on the recording. Probably by 10:30, the recording will be up and you can see the question.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I'll if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes, I'll let them know that I got 5, 10 minutes to do, and then I'll finish with orientation.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be quick. If you don't have any questions, you can go. I'm really just opening it up for people to have questions tomorrow.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thank you, Miss Taylor.
All right, and so for Monday, guys, like I said, that's not just for Kev, that's for anybody. If anybody didn't do it on Monday, I'll open that assignment up if you just want the grade. Remember, the video is there. You can always just go to the video and see what the question was. Make sure you do Monday's question and not Tuesday's question, because yesterday's video has both Monday and Tuesdays. So the first part of the video is for Monday, and the second part of the video is for Tuesday. Go ahead,
So
Nathaniel.
Hey, how do we find old videos, old lectures during the week or like past weeks?
So you just go to the home page, and then on the left-hand side, it says live videos. On the second, on next to it, it says past videos. You click that button, and then you just follow the calendar. You can see the dates, and and the videos are there.
Okay, I tried to do that in the links. There was no hyperlink to it. It was just like bolded
For what day?
for like the whole entire class. It was like showing '06. Let me get back to it.
What class are you in? What are you
Career prep.
AM? No, are you AM 1, 2, or 4?
I,
Do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay. You're Nathaniel. Will anybody in Nathaniel's class know what? Because I have to go through each class. If I don't, there's 3 different classes here. That's what I'm asking. Let me see. I'm on. Let me just do the first class. I just have to do one by one.
It's SLS 110 10U AM2.
2. He's on 2. Okay. So let me look at your class to see what you're referencing. So if I go here, and I mean, hopefully this system didn't knock all the live sessions off. Yeah, they're all there. I'm looking at them. Let me show you. So if I stop sharing here real quick, and then I share my screen. You're driving though. I don't know. Can you even see?
Nah, I'm at a job site right now.
Oh, you can't see. Uh-oh. Well, this is not going to help. Um, but I'm just going to show the class because I just want to make sure you guys know, and maybe somebody can help you, or you can call me back later. But you see how I go here to the home? If I click on home, guys, and always scroll down, and you see I'm in AM2 right now. And if you just scroll down, you see how it says connect to live or go to past? This is where I assume you guys, I mean, but most of you come to class. That's probably why you never look. But you see all these videos? These are all videos. And if I click here, that's all the way back from Monday of week 1. It's going to take you to YouTube, and that's me, you see? So it takes you right to the videos. Let me stop that.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. Y'all see it? All right. So, I mean, it takes you right to the videos. So, and I keep them up. They stay up the whole class. So if you scroll, they're all there. You see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, week 3, even yesterday. If you click here, for those, I mean, let's go ahead since you're here. This talks about, so. Technical difficulties yesterday because I was using my new computer. Where's that question? Right. So this is the question for Monday. What is your biggest first day anxiety? So we're talking about first day on the job. So for those of you that need to answer that question from yesterday, what is your biggest first day anxiety? Right. And then if you keep going through, the next Tuesday's question is there. All right. So stop sharing that. Are we good? Anybody else? Go ahead and good to go. All right. Stop the recording.